Hey, welcome everybody. We're just dropping in tonight for a one on our series, the Truth Bomb series, which is just a few nuggets of information. We want to talk about one of the most dangerous things you can possibly say to your spouse. And here we are, we're in East Tennessee. The sky looks pretty clear right now. We're actually getting spit on a little bit, and they're saying there's going to be some storms coming tonight. So we got storm clouds literally behind us. And guys, one of the biggest storm clouds that you might not even recognize that it is, but one of the biggest storm clouds you can have in your marriage is with one phrase that you can say that is extremely hurtful, is stonewalling at its core, and is extremely painful, is sometimes it's very common that couples are saying it. And
hmm
that is what?
It is saying, I'm not going to talk to you about this. It is one of the most dangerous things you can say, especially if you keep saying it over and over again. I'm just not going to talk to you about
Yep.
this. You walk out of the room, you leave your spouse feeling abandoned, feeling neglected. And what is happening basically, you're basically slamming the door to your heart in their face. You're saying you're not worth me talking about this with you. You're saying I'm going to not really share what I think and feel right now. You're not worth the investment of my emotional energy, and
Yep.
it's extremely dangerous when you say I'm not going to talk to you about this.
Yeah. And
Now, yeah, go ahead.
well, it's one of the biggest indicators that there are really big problems. This
Yeah.
is one of the big causes of divorce, according to the research, and we do hear this type of thing all the time. And so, if you have heard that, or if you have said that, alarm bells ought to be going off. The storm clouds are here. This is a real problem.
Yeah, that's so true, Scott. Yeah, it is one of the four biggest marriage killers that's out there, stonewalling. When you basically just put the walls up and you're like, I'm not going to talk to you about
Yeah.
that. And what it's an indication of is that your heart is closed off.
Right.
It's also an indication that you don't have the communication skills that you need in your marriage. And it's also an indication that you probably don't have the emotional regulation that you need to, because probably you're too mad in the moment, or
Yep.
too frustrated, or too hurt, or whatever it is that you're arguing about, that you can't even express how you feel to your
Yeah.
spouse.
And we're experts on this because we did it,
We lived
especially
this,
me.
you guys, for a good
Yeah,
decade, wouldn't you say?
yeah. It's not that we just hear it all the time. Like, we did this for a long time, and
Yes.
in my mind, when I would say it, it made a lot of sense, and I felt justified because it felt like you were attacking me. What you really
Mm,
needed was me just to love you in that moment. But I was like, I felt like I was attacked, and so I would go into recluse mode. I would distance myself. I would run the other way, and I did not realize at the time how much I was hurting you, because for you, it was like I was really hitting you at the core. I was
yeah.
like pushing you away and saying, you don't matter to me. I don't value you or your opinion, and I'm not going to pursue you. And by the way, I don't love you that much either. All
Yeah.
at the same time.
That's how it felt. Yeah, and it felt too like you were abandoning me,
Yeah.
because, in most relationships, one of you is going to be one who withdraws, who doesn't like conflict, who wants to keep the peace, who just wants things to be okay and to be nice. The other one most likely has a pattern where you're more likely to, you want to resolve things, you want to hurry up, and you probably pursue, maybe to a fault, which is how I was. It was like when there was angst between us, I just wanted to handle it. And so what it would look like is me chasing you around on my broomstick. And him withdrawing and going into turtle shell mode. And when he'd say, I don't want to talk to you about this, I'm telling you, the walls to my heart, I
Yeah.
felt them. I felt his walls just slam shut to me.
And I felt it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and guys, it is one of the four biggest marriage killers out there. And so, guys, if you're saying that, we want to encourage you. Number one, the very best thing you can do is to stop saying that, and instead, in the heat of the moment, if you are too upset to talk about it right
Right.
then, what you can say is, I can't talk to you about this right now. Can we please cool off and talk about it tomorrow at 2, or
Mm,
after dinner, or
yeah.
after the kids go to bed? Pick a time and be specific, because then the spouse who pursues won't feel like you're just slamming that door shut,
Exactly.
but it
Yeah.
will give you guys the time to cool down. This is one of the things that we teach our private clients when we're helping them resolve conflict in the marriage and get a marriage turnaround. So
Yeah.
that's the first thing you can do. The second thing you can do is you can check out our masterclass, which is the 5 steps Christian couples can make to get a turnaround in their marriage, recover intimacy, and fall back in love again. So if those are things that sound interesting to you, or if you've been saying this phrase, we really dive deep and show you some shifts you can make to really get a turnaround in your marriage. So you can
Mhm.
go to turnaroundmarriage.com/class. Check it out. Pick the best time. If you can't make it right then, we will send you a replay. Guys, making this one shift can be
Oh, yes.
massively huge to help you
Oh,
in your marriage.
absolutely. You cut this out and you change maybe even years of vicious cycles.
Yeah.
If you can, it's in some ways you might even call it fighting fairly, because there's going to be conflict no matter. I mean, any
Yeah.
healthy marriage, there is some measure of conflict, and the way that you handle it is so important. We didn't even see it for the longest time.
Why didn't anyone tell us this?
Maybe
for a
they did.
decade.
We didn't hear it.
Yeah.
So guys, we hope this is encouraging to you, so that you realize you can cut this stuff out. It is possible. You might need outside help to do that, but it is possible to cut this out of your marriage completely. And when you do, instead of being in these vicious cycles, you can replace it with cycles that are nourishing, cycles of health. And when that happens, oh my goodness, everything changes. So
Yeah.
we hope this encourages you.
Yeah. So go to turnaroundmarriage.com/class. We'll see you on the masterclass.
Take care.
Bye.